Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being who's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya, she ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming, yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being who's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being who's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Meghan's marrying into a family which has, to put it
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
Hello everyone. Happy Tuesday. Can everybody hear me? Just let me know that you can hear me, because one of my earbuds on one side, I can tell that it's gone silent. So I'm just wondering if that means that perhaps my mic is a bit funny. So just let me know that you can hear me, and okay, you can. Fantastic. Thank you everyone for coming as always. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button. We are powering towards 15,000 subscribers. Appreciate every single one of you. So today's going to be a relatively short podcast, just a couple of updates, some interesting ones, some funnies, and some concerns. So let's see who's in the chat today. Hi, Lauren Brown. Nice to see you here. Hi, Fancy Fancy. Hey, Donna, Denise. Helena, hi. Hi, Anna Marie. Hi, Laura Alex. Black Queen, hi. Hi, Aubrey, London Lady. Marina, Kim. Okay, let me just toggle with something that I didn't fix in the background. Give me a sec, folks. I'm actually giving my first ever panel on solo travel and digital nomadism tomorrow. So please wish me luck. Despite doing this podcast, a lot of people might be surprised to hear this, but I am not all that confident with public speaking. So it's one of the things that I wanted to challenge myself to do this year, was to try and do more public speaking. So wish me luck. And it's the first time I'm ever hosting a panel, and on International Women's Day. So actually, having said that, if I do a podcast, it might be way later in the evening, like maybe past midnight UK time, because after the panel we have a mixer. So just so you know, but what I'll do, and actually something that I might try doing now going forward, is maybe trying to schedule podcasts like an hour before, just because like I know that me running late sometimes can be very annoying and pushing back the podcast. So I always try to make it on time, but sometimes there's so many other things going on, that it just doesn't happen. And I know that you guys are very, very patient with me, but I don't want to be doing that anymore, like showing up late to podcasts. So I'm gonna try and find a way of making sure that doesn't happen anymore. So please do bear with me. All right, let's get to it then. Let's start with the positive stuff first, shall we? Here we go. So today was the first of the Uplift conference in San Francisco. Now today's stuff was I think very much for the corporate set. Like, this wasn't for us royal fans. It does make me laugh to know, though, that they didn't actually announce exactly when Harry was going to appear until, I mean, Carly put out this tweet maybe like an hour or so into the conference. So it just makes me laugh that all these royal reporters and the derangers were sitting there waiting for Harry to appear, and he didn't even appear today. He's not going to actually appear until tomorrow. So he'll be there at 5 p.m. Pacific time and 8 p.m. ES tea time. So I don't know what time that will be UK time. Somebody please figure it out and put it in the comment section. But yeah, we will see Harry and Issa Rae and Alex all tomorrow. And I actually think that this is very much going to be focused on the business and the work. I think we do forget sometimes that Harry is not just the face of this brand, he actually works there. He has a position there, he's part of the team. And so it's going to be, I think even though I don't think this is for us, the royal fans, it'll be interesting to see what Harry has been working on and how he's taking into his role at BetterUp. But nonetheless, I had it going on in the background, and it was just interesting to hear what the organization does. And I think if you are in a big organization and BetterUp still, your organization haven't invested in BetterUp, maybe suggest it to the managers, because it sounds like they're doing some great stuff and really trying to foster a more positive and uplifting workplace. Because in this matrix here that we live in, you're going to go to work. We spend so much time at work. And given how much time we spend at work, the least that we can hope for is that we're surrounded by positive people and have a decent experience at work to make those pennies and not come home depressed every single day, which is a reality for a lot of people. And I think what BetterUp is doing not only does it foster a better work environment for everyone, but it also, I think, helps to weed out the snakes and people that just don't fit into companies where they're trying to make a more positive and uplifting and inclusive workspace. So it was very interesting to hear from the corporate side what they're doing with companies and to see that they are growing so much. Some of the biggest and best companies work with BetterUp. So fantastic for Harry to be involved in such an amazing organization. Also, everybody, Rihanna has picked her fighter. Rihanna has let it be known whose side she's on. I don't actually know when this photo was taken. It looks like it was quite recent because I've never seen this before. I only just saw it pop up on my Twitter feed. So I'm assuming this is quite recent. But this picture has been doing the rounds. Rihanna with a Diana t-shirt. So that's that. Let me just go to your comments. Hi everyone, if you're just joining us, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Thank you so much for the words of encouragement. I'm very much looking forward to it. Donna, you said you're awful at public speaking. I start off okay, but then the nerves get the better of me. Yeah, it's just learning to take a deep breath and to speak slowly. And I do this thing sometimes where I start speaking a lot faster when I'm nervous. So just keep practicing. Lauren, you said the event planners here know how to get and keep their audience. Yeah, at least people actually showed up for the conference. I think it's about 1,300 people, and they sold out. And that's 1,300 times, I think it was almost £900, $999. So they've made like well over $1 million probably from this conference. And these big corporate companies, they love paying for this stuff. Yes, Lauren, usually they keep the headliners for the last day of the event. True that. Yeah, good job, Rihanna. Slow clap. Right, on to the next thing. Yes, the bill to remove titles. So this is actually going to have its second hearing on March 23rd. So there's a process that bills go through in the UK. You have several different hearings, members of parliament, and I think it also goes through the House of Lords. Here's the thing about this. What's so interesting with the titles is that in the Netflix documentary, we learned that, from Harry that Harry and Meghan actually offered to give up their titles. Now, what was not explained, and I'm guessing Harry's keeping that very close to his chest for a reason, is why the palace and the courtiers told them that they had to keep their titles. And at the same time, while all this is going on, in the press, you've had this odd campaign calling for the Sussex's titles to be removed. And we know that the palace and the press talk to spin a certain narrative. So why is it when all of this time, Harry and Meghan offered to give up their titles, has this narrative why has this narrative been spun in the press that they should be removed of their titles, strip them of every other week, especially any time that they're trying to distract from something, it's like strip them of their titles. Well, they offer to give their titles away. And so I'm wondering, did they tell them to keep their titles so that they could make it look like they were trying to cash in on their royal names, only to put this bill through to take their titles away officially in some attempt to humiliate them, bearing in mind that they offered to give up their titles anyway. Because if they want to put a bill through that allows the removal of titles, well, whose titles do they want to remove exactly? Will that mean that they can also remove the children's titles? Like whose titles do they want to remove? The heir and the spares? So it's quite interesting that all of this is happening while there are also protests going on against Charles. So we'll keep an eye on this one. The bill's going to be discussed for a second time on March 23rd, and we will see what the politicians in that meeting say. So that is that. Now, with the protests that happened today, so Charles and Camilla were in Colchester and they were met with very heavy boos and also egg throwing. Now, let me just say this. I am not for throwing anything at anyone. I'm not for throwing any objects at royals, even if it's Camilla and Charles. I'm against that completely, and I don't encourage anyone to go and do that. Especially as we lead up to the coronation, I think that security is going to get more and more tight, and you really don't want to be trying anything. And I definitely wouldn't want anyone from the squad to be the face of, someone getting taken down by security. And speaking of security, because I'm going to play the clip in a minute where Charles and Camilla gets egged. And I want you to just pay attention to how the security and everybody around the situation is acting. You have the future king having projectiles thrown at him, and it's like they're doing nothing. To me, that shows very lax security. Because today it's eggs, tomorrow it could be something more dangerous. And I think it just reinforces why Harry and Meghan should not go to the coronation. Like I said yesterday, and I've been saying all of this time, I don't think they have anything to gain by going, especially Meghan. I think this is just going to be torture for her. I think if Harry wants to go, he can go. So I'm going to play the clip.
School.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So, did you notice how the security didn't really move? Charles and Camilla are just kind of like standing around looking very confused. Now, the security should know at this point that there could be a risk of people throwing things. You had the town jester or whatever they call him with his feathered hat, just kind of like holding his hands up, not even protecting the king or the queen consorts. He would have been sent to the gallows back in the day. So why aren't security really doing anything? I'll play it one more time.
School.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What's even more crazy is that they did have a huge police presence there, but the police didn't seem to be doing anything. This is it here. All of those police. And they couldn't even stop an egg. Another thing I'm wondering is, how much did this trip cost? How much was spent on extra police protection? Just so Charles and Camilla could walk around town. For what? mind you, we've got huge police cuts right now and a stretch on public services, and this is how it's being spent, so that Charles Camilla can walk around and wave. Not even anything to do with any charities, even though we know by now um, royals have very little impact on charities, with the exception of Harry and Meghan. So this is a lot of public money to be spending at a time like this, just so they can walk around. And I believe that the price for the coronation is going to be at least 50 million. I think it'll be more because I've seen the route for the coronation and it goes right all the way through town. There's no way it's going to be 50. I think it's going to be 100 million because just to secure the security for the underground, you're looking at millions just for that. So that's 34,000 per minute, every minute that day. And for what? So one of the main organizations actually leading the Not My King protests is Republic. Republic have been around for a while, but since the Queen's passing, they have really gone up in popularity. So the guy who actually runs Republic, I think was he on BBC or ITV today? And he was just putting his point across that people should be allowed to protest, and that includes at the actual coronation itself. It's going to be interesting to see how protests work and if you are going to be able to protest on that day, because obviously we've got the policing bill now in the UK. I remember at the Queen's funeral, they did have certain rules on, political slogans on your clothes, signs, all of these kinds of things. So I'm assuming that will probably be the same for the coronation, and what type of crowd control they'll do to minimize protests, because no doubt at this point, Republic are really going to be going for it and wanting to do something that day. Right, I think that was the bulk of what I had to say. There is constant back and forth on the morning TV shows about, you know, whether or not Harry or Meghan will go, and it's just weird to me because you'd almost think that it's Harry and Meghan getting crowned. Like, this is Charles and Camilla's clowning, and all they can talk about is Harry and Meghan. They can't talk about the coronation without talking about Harry and Meghan. Remind me again who's getting crowned? And this was a couple they said would be irrelevant in a few years. Right, let's go to your comments and then we will call it a day. Wendy, no. Is this an old video of Charles and Camilla? No. I don't think this is not an old video. This popped up on my timeline today. I don't think this is an old video, folks. Even Sky News had this video. Hang on a sec, folks. No. Oh, by the way, I've got the okay, let me play the audio from the CEO of Republic, what he had to say about this. Hang on a sec. Yeah, this happened today, folks. I think y'all are confused. Charles has a blue suit and her in a black dress, now white coat and black suit. Oh, by the way, there was actually another angle where they were booed quite heavily. She wore white today in the video. She's okay. Right, we're gonna try and solve this riddle because this came up on my timeline today. Wait, hang on a sec.
The school.
Oh my god. So I think this might actually be an old video, folks. I think you're right. Wait, give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Because there is a new video. 1 sec. Okay, I think what's happened is some people have reposted an old video um, while circulating the new video that came out today. So you're right, there is another video of them stepping out of the car, and Camilla is in white, and I think, yeah, there were some boos, but they were not eggs. So apologies for that. Correction. Yes, you're right. That is an older video. Right. But still, my comments on, the lack security still stand. So I'm gonna play what Graham Smith, who's the CEO of Republic, said to BBC News today.
And is this the right place to do it? There are youngsters, there are families with flags. My message to Charles really is, why are you spending tens of millions of pounds on a pointless parade? He doesn't need a coronation. He's already king. Why does he think he can be head of state without a single vote being cast? And why doesn't he come and talk to us and, face up to his critics and answer those questions? What do you think, by doing this today here, what do you hope the message will be? Well, I mean, we want to raise awareness of opposition to the coronation and to the monarchy, which is growing. Polling is showing a big shift, action between the supporters and the opponents of monarchy. And we want to point out that this coronation is a massive waste of money. When tens of millions, anything from 50 million to 100 million pounds being spent on it, when there are schools and hospitals struggling to cope with cuts, when there are people struggling to cope with cost of living crisis. So yeah, we just think that's really appalling, and we think that Charles ought to respond to those criticisms. And is this the right place to do it? There are youngsters, there are families with flags excited to be here. Do you think that's fair? Absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. And I think it's an appalling question to ask, really, to suggest that somehow that it is wrong for protesters to be near other people. I think that's a disgraceful question for you to ask. This is for the future of everybody here. The kids here should grow up knowing they can stand to be president. They should grow up knowing that they can vote for their head of state. And protest is a normal, everyday part of life in Britain. And it should be not only tolerated, but accepted and celebrated. And we have to protest where Charles is going to be. So you have no qualms about doing this? None whatsoever. No one should ever have any qualms about standing up for democracy and standing up for their rights and standing up for the right to protest.
He said what he said. Cookies and Cream, you said, what is this crazy obsession with these people about whether or not the Sussexes will attend that spectacle? They're losing their collective minds over this clown show. Folks, they do this every single time. I mean, do you all remember? How could you forget the balcony? Will Harry and Meghan be on the balcony? Who will be on the balcony? I mean, it was just a running joke. I actually bumped into someone who doesn't know that I have this podcast. This was sometime after the Jubilee, and they literally said, "Oh, the balcony," because it was all over the headlines every single day leading up to the Jubilee. And the tabloids do this every single time. Their obsession with Harry and Meghan just turns the whole thing into a clown show where you're not even focusing on what the event was meant to be about. The Jubilee was meant to be about the Queen. They made it about Harry and Meghan. The Queen passed away. They made it about Harry and Meghan. Thank you so much, Denise. Listening from Greece. Fabulous. Okay, so we've established that video was old. I do apologize. It was floating around today, so I thought it was a new one. But there was one today. You're right, where um Camilla was in white and they stepped out of the car. Yes, Valerie, they were in Colchester. Rahini said the egg thrower obviously did not have any cricket boy days. Thank you so much for wishing me good luck on my public speaking, everyone. Okay, I think that was all I had to say. We'll just finish up with your comments and we will wrap things up. Marina, you said, just put the crown on head, put oil on the forehead, and he can drive to Buckingham Palace and stand on the balcony. That'll be the coronation. Just let him wear mummy's big fluffy hat, pour some oil on their heads, that precious oil squeezed from the fine olives of Jerusalem, and we can just drive them to the balcony and they can smile and wave for their peasants. Sounds like a plan. Be a lot cheaper as well. Yes, Kim, the tabloids were tripping over that damn balcony. They got the money shot that was through the window, seeing Meghan in her designer hat. Yeah, that's all they were waiting for. They didn't care about the Jubilee. They just wanted to see Meghan in the hat. They could get their pictures and make their money. And you know that there was some talk between the palace and the Daily Fail, because it was the Daily Fail that got that long lens picture. They said, you better let us get a picture of Meghan. Right. That is all. Thank you once again for wishing me the best of luck with my public speaking, London Lady. I will give the last word of the day. Good night, Anne and Squaddies. Good night to you too. Have a lovely day. And yeah, tomorrow is International Women's Day. I will probably do a podcast much later on in the day. Maybe we'll see Meghan pop up. You know, I'm still sorry, give me a sec, folks. Oh, sorry, I had to cough there. I'm still hoping that mysterious Meghan Instagram page is actually Meghan. And who knows? Tomorrow's International Women's Day. She might pop up. Let's cross our fingers. We definitely know which Duchess they will be quoting, though. All the quotes on your timeline, half of them will be Meghan, for sure. And we know who won't be getting quoted. So I will see you then. Have a good evening, everyone. Ciao.
I know you don't mean to, but you're blocking my view. I know you got issues, but I got my shit too. I don't wanna be your therapy no more, no more. You don't wanna hear this, but it's you, it's not me. Ooh, gotta go and grab a spoon now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me stay, to stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Catch you on the flip side. Maybe we can be friends when you're not so fragile. When you know yourself well, somewhere down the sweet line. When I do things for me, 'cause I don't wanna be a therapy, I wanna be free. So, ooh, gotta go and grab a stool now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me stay, do stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, I know, you know, it's time you let me go. Don't call, don't follow, 'cause I'll do fine on my own. I know, you know, it's time I'll let you go. Don't call, don't follow, 'cause I'll be gone. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me stay, do stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Get out of my way, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Get out of my way.
All right, today we're going to talk about how we can find out and how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So first we have to decide how much do we want to find out. So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.